or perhaps they know that there's something coming which might cause a lot of problem for Talonflame, the Shadow for Alligator, which you and I are very excited to see. But we can't use Shadow for Alligator today. One that we can use, one Pokemon we're using is Giratina Origin. Look at that. Have you ever seen one of these before?
I have been playing Giratina Origin a lot in my own Go Battle League games, paired with the Abomasnow and Registeel, but it looks like Inadequance has, paired it with the Registeel here, and it makes a lot of sense. That is such a solid core, because Registeel, the best answer to a Lickitung, and Giratina, well, let's just say it's not too great into a Lickitung.
Now, these are some top battlers, and it's great to see them. You've got Martine with the Wigglytuff. That's going to lose him some fans, no doubt. But we've got Vigoroth Giratina Core. Now, that's quite exciting. We typically see Fighter and Ghost coverage with Lickitung and Annihilate, and this is the other way around.
Yeah, it looks like Martine's team is built all around taking down that Lickitung. But at the same time, I really like what he's done with the Cresselia. If you're able to use the Cresselia as a safe swap to lure out the Lickitung, then your Giratina is flying free in the back.
We've got another Talonflame on screen for us. This is a really interesting team. Now let's see what WTMGo has in response. We have another Vigoroth here and another Mantine, but this time no Water Pulse. Is he missing a trick?
I don't know. I think Ice Beam into this matchup is actually the way to go, because you'll see a Giratina on the opposing side. But of course, the better answer to Giratina is in Sableye, is in Arctibax, and despite not having a Lickitung, WTMGo has really prepared himself for this match.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about that Arctibax. That's one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the Open Great League and in Show 6 tournaments. It hasn't seen a huge amount of play more recently because of the way in which the meta has shifted, but that's not stopping WTMGo today, and he's opted for what is effectively double ice coverage in both Mantine and Arctibax.
Yeah, while Arctibax has that ice coverage of Avalanche, I would consider a Dragon type first and foremost. It's mostly doing pressure with that Dragon Breath and that Dragon Claw. This matchup, though, has happened before. WTMGo did defeat Martine at the previous EUIC, and I think Inadequance is going to be looking to get his revenge here in the winner's final.
Oh, look at Inadequance. He's grown his new beard, and he's not afraid to show it off. He is a handsome man, and he's here with a plan.
And maybe that plan is going to be Wigglytuff, as if you can basically safe swap that every single game and force the switch alignment.
How good is Wigglytuff into Vigoroth? Do you know that matchup? Let's find out if we see it here. The players lock in, and we have Shadow Gligar against Cresselia.
Yeah, it's a pretty neutral matchup here, but if WTMGo has more of a attack-weighted Gligar, Inadequance may have the opportunity to take it out with two Grass Knots instead of needing to commit to a Future Sight.
So I tell you what, WTMGo hasn't chosen any Pokemon in this line of three that is weak to Wigglytuff, so he might be able to use good fast attacks and good charge attacks to overcome it.
Yeah, but if you're Inadequance, you know the Wigglytuff is not afraid of anything as long as you're able to keep shields up.
Now, Inadequance is opting for the massive damage-dealing Future Sight here. He will still need to throw another charge attack in order to take the Gligar down, but not before Gligar gets off some energy in Dig.
WTMGo made a very high-level play there, went for one wing attack over, expecting Inadequance to try to also play to a charge attack priority. Neither of them did, and they basically predicted each other. This Grass Knot, though, is going to be enough for the Gligar. WTMGo doesn't opt to shield, and now has to find a way to take down this Cresselia.
This is tricky. The Cresselia has a lot of health left. The Lantern is at risk of receiving a Grass Knot, so WTM comes in with the Vigoroth, dealing not very effective counter damage.
Yeah, and this is very awkward, because, oh, wow, goes straight for the no-shield, putting this all on the Lantern to deal with that Wigglytuff in the back. Future Sight is doing huge damage to that Vigoroth, and I think WTM is going to overfarm as much as possible. Psycho Cuts, not doing anything, goes for the Body Slam, and now Inadequance basically has to let this move go through, doesn't want to take another Body Slam, of course, and yeah, I think right now you just bring in the Wigglytuff, you try to farm energy, and you debuff the last Pokemon, you win.
I think what WTM is going for here is Lantern in the back against anything which he expects to not be a Giratina, because if it were a Giratina, then Inadequance would have been playing extremely weak to Sableye lead. So he's calling. There's no Giratina in the back. Lantern can come in, and it can start to put off a lot of pressure. Now, Wigglytuff can throw Icy Wind, but that's resisted, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if you're WTMGo, you might just have to let this move go through. No, shields up the bait, trying to maybe shield a disarming voice, and Martine just stays in here with the Wigglytuff. This is so much damage.
Look at the skill from Martine. He's tapping like there's no tomorrow.
Tap, 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 as the Wigglytuff is putting pressure onto the Lantern. And this Vigoroth should be able to finish off this match here, as one body slam will be enough.
This is going to be tight. The Lantern has a ton of energy. Inadequance is trying to calculate how much damage. He shielded the debuffed Surf. That's not what he wanted to do. But WTMGo can't pivot out into his own Vigoroth.
Yeah, I think the play there was very smart. Because
does Vigoroth have a move?
I think Vigoroth...
Does WTM Vigoroth have a move? Can he combo?
Let's see. Vigoroth not coming in yet. Body slam number 1 onto the Lantern. I think if he just gets off the second body slam, the body slam from the opposing Vigoroth will not be enough whether he has one or not.
He doesn't have enough health to survive the counter damage.
Oh, that's it. I think he's fine. I think he's fine.
You think this knocks out?
This doesn't knock out.
This doesn't knock out?
Doesn't knock
okay,
out.
guys, does this knock out?
And it does not! Oh my god!
Martine takes game 1 in superb fashion. Those were close battles.
Wow, I honestly didn't expect that. If you are WTMGo, maybe you go for, I don't know.
Do you know what I would have thought that he could have tried? Perhaps if
a rock slide.
Did he reach it? He maybe did, he maybe didn't. If he had, then obviously throw the rock slide. It does more damage overall. But what he could have maybe done is shielded the Lantern.
Right.
Continued to spark down because the Lantern can take counter damage better than his own Vigoroth can. And then maybe either tried to pivot, or if he knows that he's got an attack-weighted Vigoroth, maybe gone for that Charger-type priority. Perhaps that was an option for him.
He needed to somehow save the Lantern energy and not throw it, stall the clock long enough to pivot into the Vigoroth, throw the move there, and have energy on the Lantern, which would be much more efficient if it's not debuffed.
A lot easier said than done. Those were really close games. Inadequance comes out top in game 1, and this is going to be a very exciting game number 2 coming up. Do you want to see the Giratina Origin?
Yeah, I think Giratina Origin, it just doesn't look that nice into this team.
It really doesn't, does it? So